Hello, my name is Bernardo and welcome back to Movie Geek Production channel. And it is that time of the year. This is at the time of this recording. Tomorrow is the last day of 2021, but when you're watching it, it's the last day of 2021, December 31st. So yeah, it is that time of the year. Like I said, I'll be sharing my top 10 favorite films of 2021. There's quite a few films that I absolutely adore, and there's some films that just made an impact to me. Just yes, this made in the list. There's a lot of great ones, and honestly, 2021 is actually a great year for films. So yeah, I've been reworking the list a lot of times. There were a lot of changes, and if you see my letterbox, follow me on letterbox if you want to the list that is still currently on. Things can change, and in my top 5 had changes a lot throughout, and it was hard for me, but I got my list set. I'm happy what I got, and let's get right into it. So I got my phone with me just to make sure everything is going smoothly, and I'll be showing my honorable mention that did not make the cut. The Power of the Dog, Ghostbusters Afterlife, The Night House, Pig, The Last Duel, Saint Maud, Raya and the Last Dragon, Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings, King Richard, Belfast, Encanto, Licorice Pizza, In the Heights, No Time to Die, Mask, Spencer, The Tragedy of Macbeth, Billie Eilish, The World's a Little Blurry, The Suicide Squad, and A Quiet Place Part 2. Those are all the honorable mentions that did not make the cut, sadly, but all fantastic films. Films I adore and thought they're great films. So let's get right into it. Number 10. This film has no introduction, only except that it's directed by Steven Spielberg, that is West Side Story. I adore this movie. The more I think about this movie, the more I think it's better than the original. That's right, I think it's better than the original, in my opinion, because the way they did with this remake, this rendition of West Side Story, they did something that the original didn't have. They fleshed out all the characters, including the side characters like Chino, for example, and they have more layers and depths into them. I thought it was fantastic the way they fleshed out more the characters and the story as well, had more meaningful way. And the way Steven Spielberg directed is obviously going to be exceptional, especially the cinematography by Janusz Kaminski, which looks breathtaking to watch on a big screen. And this was a film that I had to watch on the first day release because it's a Steven Spielberg movie, and I was worried going in because this is not only his first musical, but this is a remake to the original classic, and I was wondering how this gonna go, and it exceeded my expectation 1,000 more than it was originally had. When I first saw the teaser trailer, I was already excited. And my God, the performances by Rachel Zegler, Ariana DeBose, and Mike Feist. Wow, they gave an exceptional performance, especially Rachel Zegler, who is definitely Maria. She is Maria on screen. I adore her performance. Her voice, her range is just out through the roof, exceptional. And I love how this film feel, the vibe, the environment is so grittier and more dark. Yeah, I really love this one. It blew me away. I adore this one. I actually prefer this over the original, and I think and I stand by that a lot. A lot of ways, and just the way they reinvented the story written by Tony Kosher, the way he did that, he reinvented the story and made it more layers to them. There's more depths, there's more layer, there's more human into the story of West Side Story. There's more substance into it, and they think some changes in the movie that actually I really like the change that they made for this movie that actually works for the story as a whole. And Rita Moreno is phenomenal in this movie as Valentina, and I just adore West Side Story, and that is why West Side Story is my number 10. Also, it's a Steven Spielberg movie. Come on. Let's go to number 9. I adore this movie. It's funny, it's cute, it's charming, it's whimsical as always for Wes Anderson films. I adore this movie a lot. It was hilarious. One of the most wholesome Wes Anderson film. Actually, Moonrise Kingdom is still my favorite Wes Anderson film of all time. But The French Dispatch is just so much fun all around. One of the better anthologies story that had a flow into them. I just love the cast. The cast is phenomenally good. It's just a stellar cast. There were a lot of great moments in this movie that I had a big smile on my face. It's just, I mean, ear to ear, I had a big smile on my face. It's very well, beautifully shot, and very well directed. And the way that they go back to a lot of things, that the French Dispatch is a new paper, kind of like telling the story of what the story had to offer, and telling from that story to tell it in an anthology form. And it's just a beautiful movie. And one of my favorite stories had to do with the painter, played by Benicio del Toro and Leah Sado. That's my favorite part in the movie. I mean, overall, I really enjoyed The French Dispatch. Really loved it. I absolutely loved it. There's an animated sequence that I just adore that anime sequence. I had a big smile on my face on that as well. I had a great time watching that. I saw my brother. It was a great experience. We both love Wes Anderson films. Moonrise Kingdom still remain one of my favorites. I cannot wait to see what's his next film gonna be. I really love The French Dispatch. That's all I can say. I absolutely adored it. There was great character moments, great funny moments, some cool camera techniques that were used. It was beautifully shot and beautifully edited too. I love how this film was edited, put together, and making a whole seamlessly unique as well. And I really enjoyed The French Dispatch. That's all I can say. That is one is my number 9. Number 8. This is the film we were hyping about. I mean, the hype was real, you guys. That is Spiderman No Way Home. Wow. That's all I can say. Wow. That's the only way I can describe about Spider-Man No Way Home. That is, wow. What an experience. I saw this film on a Thursday showing on 3 p.m., sorry, on IMAX with my friends, and it was a packed theater, and I didn't know what to expect because I did not see any of the trailers, any of the TV spots. I've seen some promotional posters and all that, but not the trailers and the clip that they were showing, because I want to go in with a clean slate for this film, because I knew there's something special can be for this movie, and it is really special. This film is special. It is for the Spider-Man fans like myself. I grew up with all the Spider-Man movies. I seen them in theaters as a kid, and now I seen them as an adult. Going in, watching Spider-Man No Way Home was an experience, just like Avengers Endgame. What an experience. I adore this movie. In fact, this is the most darkest Spider-Man movie, which I love. They changed its gears for this character, for this story, which I absolutely adore that change. Because it fits for the character growth for Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, and what we see him go through, and the things that he had to face, the consequences that would become what Spider-Man is. And I adore that a lot. Obviously, there's some great fan service moments which I adore, but the story I really love. It's really a Spider-Man story, because I read the Spider-Man comic books. He deals with multiverse kind of stuff. Spider-Verse, for example. He met so many Spider-Mans over the years in the comic books, and it was a right moment for Tom Holland character to have that kind of moment, that big event moment. And I adore Spider-Man No Way Home. I cannot stop thinking about it. This is the film that I've been thinking about days after days. I want to be going and watch it again. I only seen it once so far. I need to see it again because I love that film so much. I really do, and there's some great character moments. It's just so good. Tom Holland gives a phenomenal performance. This is his best Peter Parker performances that he had done so far, and he gave out a lot of emotion, a lot of joy, and a lot of excitement. And his performance as Peter Parker is one of a kind. I mean, I do love Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in their rendition of Peter Parker Spider-Man, because I adore them a lot. But something about Tom Holland Spider-Man is just screams special to me. It was really good, a lot, and I really enjoyed the score by Michael Giacchino. It's like, oh, so good. I adore Spider-Man No Way Home. I really do. Then that is why it's my number 8. I adore this one. This is my kind of movie. Plus, it's Edgar Wright. It deserved the number 7 spot. I adore this movie. I didn't expect what kind of story that this film gonna go. All I know it can be a horror film, and that's all I know. And I really love the story in this. It's very unique and original. That go back in time. That Thomasin McKenzie character dealt with when she go to bed and she had this dream that, and she kind of portrayed the Anya Taylor-Joy character and what her life is. And I really love that aspect about it. It's so engaging to watch what the character go through in the movie and what's gonna happen in the third act of the movie when we had the result to it. I absolutely love how this film was made and how it was shot and how it was directed. It was beautifully shot, and the camera techniques that they used and the editing techniques they had to cooperate to each other is so well done that I bet that they took as many takes as they can to get it right. And Edgar Wright is one of the director has a vision of his own, that he knows what he wants. He knows what kind of attention to detail that he wanted for any film that he made, especially in Last Night in Soho. Just it was an awesome time to watch in theaters. I saw my brother and I. My brother and I adore this one so much. I cannot stop talking about The Last Night in Soho, especially some editing techniques that they did is so visually pleasing in my eyes. And there were so many great moments I don't want to give away that my job had dropped. Basically, I was shocked because I think I went in going blind as well. I did see the trailers, but I didn't read the detailed stuff. And because it's an Edgar Wright film, I wanted to go in with the experience, and I did. Really enjoyed The Last Night in Soho. I absolutely love that one. It's one of the best of this year, and is phenomenally good. I can't wait to own on 4K when it comes out. Yeah, I really enjoy it. I love the character. Thomasin McKenzie is great in this. She has grown to be a great actress over the years from Jojo Rabbit and Until Joy. She's becoming an icon right now. Matt Smith I adore because from Doctor Who. This is a great murder mystery horror film combined, and I just love seeing the character journey in this and how Thomasin McKenzie had to put all this puzzle together. That's what makes this film so much fun to watch. Is the mystery aspect that she is trying to put all these puzzle pieces together, trying to figure out what this is and all that. It's really fun. I really enjoyed it, and it had a great twist and just a great visual, pleasing moments. I love the 60s vibe that this film takes place in the dream sequences, and I love the costume that this I mean, it's yeah, it deserved this number 7 spot. Number 6. This is an underrated hidden gem film that came out in 2021 that deserved more praise and more attention. This movie took me by a surprise. I went in going nothing, except that it's directed by James Wan. That's the main reason that got my attention, because it's directed by James Wan. And one of my friends, Nick Acosta and Jackson, love this movie and have been recommending me this. I saw it knowing that this is a James Wan film. I loved it. It blew me away. Wow. One of the most unique horror films that came out in 2021. Very unique. And I love that so much. It knows its identity and they accept that a lot of ways. Because James Wan is one of the directors that this is the only director that could make those kind of films. Malignant is one of those films that James Wan could only direct. No other director could direct Malignant just like the way James Wan did. And I just love the story in this. It was so engaging to watch. I had blast to watch. It's just one of the most unique films that came out in 2021. One of the most unique. And I love it for that. And James Wan, man, what a filmmaker. I adore this filmmaker. Anything he touched is just gold. And I love the Insidious movies. I love the first Saw movie. Malignant movie. Man, I wish this film had more attention that it deserved. It did not got the attention that it deserved. Not a lot of people saw this movie. Kind of sad that this film deserved more attention, but it was well done. I love the twist, man. The twist was so good. McKenna Grace in this movie was phenomenally good, and Annabelle Wallace is phenomenal. In this one, she is great, and this is like murder mystery as well, which is really engaging to watch. I adore Malignant. Oh my gosh, I already own a Blu-ray and I cannot wait to revisit it again. I think it's gonna be a new tradition for me to watch every October from now on, and hopefully the sequel is in the works for this. I love Malignant, and James Wan direction is top notch. He knows what he wants. He knows what this movie is. He knows what kind of tone that this film needed to be, and I love Malignant. That's why it's deserving on the number 6. This is my kind of movie. That is The Green Knight, directed by David Lowery. Knowing I went in because 1 is A24, 2 Dev Patel's in this, 3 Alicia Vikander's in this, and 4 this is a fantasy film. I love me some fantasy movies. The Lord of the Rings is one of my favorite trilogies of all time. The Green Knight, wow, what a visual experience going in, and it's never a dull moment. People say it's boring. It's not for everyone. Especially, it's for me. This film is made for me, and I love the journey that the Patel character go through, and the journey is so cool to see, and it's like almost like D&D kind of role playing game while you're watching it. I love the score. I love the cinematography. The cinematography. Oh my god, baby, nominated for the Oscar for that. And Dev Patel performances was just exceptional. I love the actor. He has grown to be one of the best actors in the generation. The Green Knight is just well done. I love how it flows. It was perfect. I mean, everything what I wanted in this movie is in that movie. The journey, the character growth, the ups and downs, and it was so cool to see. It's kind of like you're watching a role-playing game in live-action form, in film form, and I absolutely love that aspect about that. The Green Knight is like, some of my co-workers did not like the movie. I love this movie, so sorry about that, but I adore The Green Knight. There's so many breathtaking images. I just in awe. Like, Oh my god, there's so many great, beautiful shots. It's beautifully directed, it's beautifully performed, it's beautifully shot, it's beautifully executed as well. And the journey that he had to face the Green Knight is just what makes this film captivating to watch for me. That it made my eye glue to the screen. I never had a dull moment. I was into the journey that the Patel character goes by, and how he had to deal with something that he must face, that he volunteered to do so. And there's so many moments just I was in silence basically, and just in awe to the screen and just enjoyed it. I absolutely love this movie. It was beautiful to watch. It's beautiful. It's rich. It's engaging. Is I just love the environment, the atmosphere, the journey, the world building that this film has. It's just so vast and big and rich and delicious. It's just I adore the Green Knight. I really do. And most of the time you're rooting for the main character, Sir Gawain, that Dev Patel character portrays, and you were rooting for him, and you were seeing him go through a lot of things, the fear, the excitement, the growth, the courage that he has, the bravery that he needs to put on, the failure that he has. It's just there's so many emotions that go through. I just love that aspect about that because he's not perfect. He had to go through some tough decisions in the long journey to meet the Green Knight, and he has so many thoughts and what's gonna happen. He's scared and yet he's brave, and I love that storytelling. It's one of there's no words I can describe for the Green Knight. Only that I absolutely love this movie. I really do, and that's why it's in number 5. Number 4, The Mitchells versus the Machine, originally called Connected. Oh my gosh. I love The Mitchells versus the Machines. This film means so much to me, and I can so relate to the main character, Katie, who is an aspiring filmmaker, wants to become a filmmaker, and she's planning accepted to a film school basically, and her parents were worried about her. He does not want to lose her, and she was already excited that she's finally moving away from her family, and then all of a sudden they change of plans. Their family decided to make a road trip that that was not her original plan. She was decided to go to the airplane, move out already, and it is so much fun. It's relatable. It's cute. It's charming. It's wonderful. It's funny. It's funny, and I love the animation style in this. Oh my gosh, the animation style is so visually pleasing, and I just love the story. It's like so relatable. Yeah, there's fantastical elements going on in this movie, but they stick to the human heart in this movie about Katie go through some big changes in her life that she's going through. She's going to a college, a film college is her new chapter in life, and her parents is now ready to let her go. She's now ready. They still think that that's their baby. The dad thinks that she's still her little girl, but she's grown up, and you have to accept the fact that we all have to live our lives, and that we have to go do our things that we love to do. And I can so relate to Katie because it reminded me of me going to film school, and the things that I'm really excited for to do is to become a director, and I can so relate to her. And I love this movie so much. It has so much heart, so much emotion. And it's really funny at times too. It's charming. It's wholesome. If this film did not get nominated for Best Animated Feature by the Oscars, I will lose my mind. I will lose my mind. And I'll bet the TV too. Anyways, I love the Mitchell vs. the Machines. I'm kind of glad they finally released on Blu-ray because I worried it was never gonna get a physical release because it was released on Netflix. Obviously, it was coming out in theaters, but that didn't happen because the pandemic. The voice cast is top notch. The animation style is top notch. The storytelling is top notch. Everything felt right with the Mitchell vs. the Machines, and it shows has so much care and so much love into this movie. The relatability is in there, and there's so much heart that's just felt right. There's so many great moments that just felt right. There's so many breathing moments, character moments in this movie that's just I adore. It just floored me. I didn't expect go. I didn't expect to love this movie because I was interested, but I didn't. I was not like hype going and watching this movie. And I first saw this movie for the first time. I was like, oh my gosh, my heart is racing, and I immediately fell in love with this movie. I love the story, I love the animation, and The Mitchell vs. Machines is one of the best of this year. I adored it, and that is why I deserve not the number 4 spot. Okay, here we are. We're in the home stretch. These 3 films I'm going to mention meant so much to me that deserve to be in the top 3. And there has been interchangeable a lot of time because these 3 films I'm going to talk about I adored and loved, and it almost feels like they're all tied, but they're not tied because they have their spots. So here we are. Number 3. Oh my god, this film is amazing. I love this movie. This film is so much heart, character, humanity, love, and family. The journey that this main character named Ruby go through a lot of decision making in this movie, a lot of tough decision making, that her family are all deaf and they have to do sign language, and Ruby is the only one that is not deaf. She has a voice and she's the only one that talks, and it's tough for her in her life, both in school and at work. And this film has so much humanity into it. I just adore this movie so much. Not because I'm biased, because I'm deaf. And I have to talk about Emilia Jones' performances in this movie. She gives one of the best performances of this year. My absolutely favorite performance of this year. She's so good in this. There's no way I can describe. Just say watch this movie, please do so. Her performance is incredible. You will engage with her journey, and her journey go through some decision making and the life that she has. I just adore this movie. I absolutely adore her character, Ruby. I mean, you felt for her. You felt a lot of emotion with her, and I love the family. There's so many great moments, so many funny moments. I just adore watching it. It had a great balance. There's some great drama moments and some funny moments in this movie. I adore Coda. I love this movie, and it deserved to get all the Oscar nominations. Best Picture, Best Director. I absolutely adore this movie. I went blind watching this movie. I know nothing about it. I heard about Coda, the name of Coda. I heard about it having given a lot of great reviews on the festivals and all that. I went going nothing, and I went in, blew me away, blew my socks off. I love Coda, love Coda. That is why it's deserving the number 3 spot. Number 2, go to Tick Tick Boom, directed by Lin-Manuel Miranda. This is his first feature film debuted, and starring the wonderful Andrew Garfield. And oh my god, this movie is amazing. The music is great. The musical numbers is great. The direction is beautiful. The performance by Andrew Garfield, oh my god, Oscar worthy. give him an Oscar, you guys. I mean, oh my god, Tick Tick Boom Boom blew me away. It blew me away. After I watched this movie, I immediately bought the soundtrack, and this film gave me a big emotional roller coaster ride. I can so almost relate to Jonathan Larson in this movie, that he was trying to figure out what kind of Broadway story it's gonna be, and he's trying to figure out the lyrics and all that. I have very similar vibe going on with him, where I'm trying to figure out the script. I'm currently writing the script that is not part of the school project. It's like the feature film that I have passion since 11th grade. It was a story that never escaped my mind, and the character never escaped my mind. I just couldn't find the right spark. You know what I mean? And that's what Jonathan Larson go through in this movie, that he's trying to find that spark, that story that he couldn't pick on what it was, and he just trying to figure it out, and going through some ups and downs in his life, with his relationship, with his friends, with his job, with his life. And there's so many great moments in this movie. I just completely adore this movie. It blew my socks off. I love the direction. The fact that this is Lin-Manuel Miranda's first film that he ever directed it is just amazing achievement that he takes on. He never directed a film. This is a feature film. Like, this is well directed. Like, oh my god, you can tell there's so many attention to detail going on in this movie, and it shows that Lin-Manuel Miranda actually cares about this project, and it shows the way film is beautifully shot. It's like it's almost they shot on film, I believe. I love the musical numbers in this. Andrew Garfield can sing, you guys. He can sing. And Vanessa Hudson's great. Alexander Shipp is great. Everybody's in this movie is phenomenal, especially Andrew Garfield. I love Tick Tick Boom. I have so many emotional feelings going on in this movie. I actually cried in the end of the movie. And it's just, it's beautiful, it's heartbreaking, it's funny at times. There's some great moments, some joy, some laughter, some sadness. I love Tick Tick Boom. Lastly but not least, my number one. No film beat Dune. Oh my god. Okay, this was an experience I will never forget. 3 months prior to the release of Dune, I decided to read the book by Frank Herbert, and I did that. After I finished the book, I watched the David Lynch version of Dune. I did that. Both reviews are in my channel, link below if you want to check it out. And days before that, I saw an early screening of Dune. And the day after that, I saw there's a showing of Dune on IMAX, and I saw it again on IMAX with my brother. Wow. Each viewing is get better and better every time. I adore this movie. Oh my god. Let's get to the stuff that we all know and love. That is the cinematography by Chris Fraser. Oh my god. It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous visual feat. I love the way this film looks, the way it was shot. It's epic, it's grand, it's big scale, it's just beautiful to look at on IMAX. The direction by Denis Villeneuve. It shows that he had care and passion and love in this source material. The every attention to detail. When I watched the film, knowing that I read the book, I know the attention to detail going on in this movie. Yes, and yes. The performances by Timothée Chalamet, Rebecca Ferguson, Josh Brolin, Javier Bardem, Zendaya, Stellan Skarsgård. All the cast, the entire cast, is well done and well played out, and especially Timothée Chalamet. He is Paul Atreides, and Stellan Skarsgård. He is Baron Harkonnen. Rebecca Ferguson. She is Lady Jessica. Oscar Isaac. He is Duke Leto. I mean, oh my god, the casting is perfection. It is well done, and the world building is breathtaking. I cannot believe they did what they did. They did the impossible. It do the world building for Dune. That's what my main problem with David Lynch film. There's not enough world building. While Denis Villeneuve, there is world building to be found. oh my god, it's rich, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's epic. I cannot wait for part 2. And this film is an experience that it needs to be seen on big screen, and it shows. I cannot wait to revisit this film as many times as I can in the near future and lead up to the release of Doom Part 2. I'm about to start reading Doom Messiah really soon, scored by Hans Zimmer. Whew. And the character journey with Paul Atreides go through. Wow. I mean, everything about this movie is just so well done, and not a single moment that felt wrong or that doesn't feel right. And everything was in the moment, everything felt right, everything felt good, and it was so satisfying. The ending let me feel satisfying that this is one of the best adaptations for Dune that could ever be. And it's just done to perfection with care and love that Denis Villeneuve does. And Denis Villeneuve is one of my top 5 directors in recent years. He made hit after hit after hit after hit. And Dune is no question about it that this is the perfect man to direct Dune. He knows what he's going on. If you saw Blade Runner 2049, you know why Warner Bros. Hired him to do Dune and why it was the right director for him to tackle this giant project that is Dune. And oh my god, I love this movie. I listened to the score as many times. I love this movie. Man, Dune. Oh my god. That's why it's my number 1. There you have it, guys. This is my top 10 favorite films of 2021. Whew, what a year. Finally, now we can look forward to 2022, aka The Batman. Really want that film already. Yeah, I'm really curious what your top 10 favorite films of 2021 is. Comment below. I'm really curious what your list are and how different it is from mine. Because we all have different opinions in films and all that, and that's pretty cool to see. And yeah, have a great one. Take care.